Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about this picture, and it was done by one of my subscribers. Her name is Maggie. Maggie wrote to me and asked if I would help her because she's just not getting the gold reflections that she really wants to see in this picture. So I have said, of course, let's take a look at what I'm finding in this. Well, first of all, okay, I'm going to talk directly to Maggie mostly because that's who sent in this picture. Um, in general, I think your colors, this is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to go over it in just a minute. And I want to talk about some of the things that you need to change immediately. You need to redo your black and get rid of this. Okay, this is all sorts of wrong. It doesn't look like constellations. I know what you were trying to do, maybe the Big Dipper here. You're in the wrong place. It's just odd. And the dots are just too close together. I'd like to see you do just your dots, circles, different, um, say different sizes from like a millimeter, a half, a tiny dot, and sporadically on the black. Not where you're trying to draw in the constellations. It's just going to make the picture look a little bit better and not have you stare at it. So that's the worst thing that I found on this. Now it's going to get better, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, first of all, I absolutely love this. Now, I know I have this picture, and I was going to do this picture, but I really don't have time right now to do it. I'm going to do this as a coloring. I'm going to give you guys the pencils as a combo this week. I think it's gorgeous. Now, I'm not hoping you're doing the peacock because it's a little off for peacock, but it's right spot on for a gemstone called Christicola. And that's a combination of azurite, which is like a blue stone, and what's the other one? Azurite, and malachite. Malachite, which is a green with like these circular globule things, and it's a beautiful stone. And when you put them together, you get chrysocolla. Um, I don't know if you guys know my history is I've got a gemology history. Uh, I used to cut gemstones before I like messed up my shoulder, and I worked with this stone, and you did a perfect rendition of it. I hope it wasn't peacock feather because it could be close, but no, this is a perfect rendition. I see in here you were getting into some of the purples. I think it's fine for the picture, not in reality of the stone, but for this picture, I think adding in a little purple is a good choice. Okay, now I see on your pyramids you were getting into adding in some of this color over here and in there. I think that's a very nice idea. If you want to shadow it with these colors, it'll be very pretty. Something I did notice on here is you're not defining your light source at all. I don't know where your light is coming. Is it coming in from over here, going this way? Is it coming in from the face? Right now it is not defined at all, and I'd like to see you define it a little bit more. Now, to define it, you're going to pick a direction. So if you're coming in from this direction, you're going to have the sun coming in on this side of the face, and this will be the shadowed area on this side. It's going to give very nice drama, and that's if you're coming in this way. If you're coming in this way, this part of the triangle is going to be light, and this is going to be dark. I'm having a little bit of problem differentiating it as of now. You might just haven't done it yet, but I have a feeling like you're up to this point, and I'd like to see a little bit more definition. You need to put your shadows into your triangular areas and definitely accentuate it, uh, because this picture is because of your color choices, which are fine. You can definitely work with the gold sand um, type of color scheme. But you got to remember when this thing is finished, her skin is going to blend into the gold. This gold's going to blend into this gold, and you're going to have a lot of gold. If you don't use shadowing, it's going to be a big blob of the same color. So you're right at that point with this picture that it can go spectacular or it could be a flop. So make sure that you get those defining areas depending on where your sun is. Now, personally, what would I do? I would probably shadow in this and highlight this area just because this is a larger area on the face. This face probably should have been done first because if you screw up the face, it's the center point. This is the focal point of the picture. Always work on your focal points first because you could spend a lot of time working on your background. If you screw up your main focus of the picture, you're dead in the water. So I would concentrate in getting the face really pretty and defining where your light is first. So say if you're coming in with over here is highlighted and this is shadowed, which is probably the easier choice for it for where you are with this. We're going to say this is shadowed, and what else on the paper would be shadowed? Well, these would be shadowed. Okay, so this is going to be your darker side. I also want you to keep in mind you already chose the time of day. You've got a night scene going on, and for that point, you have to watch where your shadows are going to be for nighttime. This, so far, the way it's highlighted and lit, it's kind of daytime with a nighttime. And if you don't do it as a nighttime picture, it's always going to appear to be that way. As I said, you have plenty of room to be darkening things up and putting things into the shadow, and that's fine. Now, let's talk about your stones or feathers. I'm not sure what they are. You got to get a lot of shadowing going in. This should be on top of this. This should be on top of this. Make sure you get your shadow lines in there. And that doesn't mean just making a line. Very blended, very smooth, light shadow. Remember, there's not going to be much difference, so it's only going to be a light shadow. Okay, so that'll take away some of the lines and give you definition. Also, this row should be darker than this row. Anything that's in the background is always darker, the front is always lighter. So define where your areas are and darken that up. Okay, so your main focus also that you weren't getting your golds. Now, I see it immediately. I'm not sure if other people are seeing it immediately too and why your gold is not working. Well, first of all, I could see where you want to do your gold as one piece. These are individual pieces. So I would treat them as individual. They're going to hit the light differently because they're not one piece. You can continue the light line throughout it because that's the way it would be. But these are individual pieces of gold. Go through my color palette. If you haven't done gold really very much, you're going to go through my gold palettes, choose the type of gold you are, and follow that recipe. You're going to do it as a straight pencil blend. Start with the darkest to the darkest, and then move in, and your light line, which should be your white, should extend through the middle. And that's just the easiest way and the most striking way. When you get a little bit used to doing gold, you could do it in other directions, but you really want to define that white light that's going to go through the center. Remember, this gold is going to be darker than this gold because this is behind this. So as I said, treat these as individual gold pieces. You may have to erase a little. This is a little dark and it's very flat because it's one color. As far as the face goes, where I can direct you, believe it or not, I mean, if you want to go for it, I would take this color palette exactly the way you have it here and do your lips just like that with a highlight in the center over here and here. It's going to just create a lot of drama. This isn't a realistic picture. It's like it looks like something that would be in a magazine if it was a realistic thing. So you have a lot of space open here to do a piece like this. So imagine what this would look like in there. Um, I would actually do her if I was picking just to do her and I wasn't doing her face exactly. I would continue her makeup throughout. You can get really inventive and creative just by possibly doing this above the eye, the lips. You can add in the lighter blues for the blush, and her face would be really nice. I mean, that's just an idea of what you can do if you really want to get creative. As far as your golds on here, do the same thing. Treat each one of these things as an individual. Go for the easiest pencil blend that you can find. Dark, lightest, darkest. Going around. Okay, this is the best that I can get it, just because of the way my program goes. You missed a lot of spots in here. There is so much tooth left in this paper to keep on going. Now, what I'm seeing here a little bit is you're going a little heavy and blurring out the paper. So lighten up your hand a little. Multiple layers light. Light-handed, multiple layers. Think of it as you're wanting rich. Very thick and rich into the tooth. What I'm seeing here is you might be burnishing it really early, and that's going too hard too early. And this is what you're almost going to get, like a burning of the paper. And that's what I'm seeing here. This is also, these lines need to be blurred out a lot more just to get a smoother appearance like gold would be. Let's see, anything else? No, I mean, I think that that's enough with this picture. You're going to have to pick a sand color. I would just remember it's nighttime. What happens to the ground when it's nighttime? It gets dark. So I would be thinking a darker sandy color than a lighter one. And then you can have a lot of fun doing the jewelry in these colors to match. Your walking stick could be in your browns layer. Get this nice and highlighted in there. Do the snake. Do these scales individually. Don't do it as a big group, and you'll get a really good look. Make sure you put a highlight in here. Highlight going around the mouth. And your picture should be done. As I said, I think this is fantastic. Let's see if I can, now if I blow it, you could sort of see it. Look at all the rich colors in there. I think you're doing a great job. You might want to do one more layer on them, just to bring them out and define them. Same with the jewels. You could do that in these colors too. I did a full page demo for her, but it's not going to come out until Thursday or Friday. And this will help her to see what it's like to do gold in a large area and gold in a small area. I didn't do her picture because really I think her picture is really good, and I'm curious to see what it comes out looking like at the end. It's going in a really good direction. The one that I chose has similar properties to it, but is completely different. So coming up on the channel this week, we have a lot of good stuff. First, I'm going to be doing, towards the end of the week, a brand new background. We're going to be working on some stones, incorporating stone into the picture. One of my subscribers is having trouble rendering a stone wall, and so I'm going to do a little perspective lesson for her, and, well, for everybody, and we'll get her going in the right direction that way. And then I have a couple of others coming up. Also, I also have some faux things, meaning how to create an illusion that on the paper that is kind of cool. So we're going to be doing that this week. Lots of good stuff. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and take care. Bye-bye.